Hello you lovelies, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in this video you can watch this forecast for your star sign for the week 15 to 21st of September 2025. This forecast is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and also Scorpio rising. And if you're here to listen to your sun sign, then this reading is going to show the events and the people that you're going to have to face moving through your week. While if your moon is in Scorpio and that's why you're here, then listening to this reading is going to give you an idea how these events and people are going to make you feel. And finally, if your rising sign is Scorpio, then the reading is going to show you how to deal with them around. So listening to all three major signs of yours is going to give you much broader perspective on the week, and also is going to personalize the reading to a fairly a large extent for you. Now the first card for Scorpio, that is going to be Six of Pentacles, followed by the second card, which is the Moon. Third one for us, that will be, and I'm saying this because I am Sun in Scorpio, Eight of Swords. And the final card, we have the Hermit of all cards. It will be a week of self-exploration. Okay, so primarily spiritual one, rather than having any whatsoever different physical or material experiences, I would point here. So starting up the week, the first card shows us the environment and the topic of our week, and that is a Six of Pentacles. So the biggest thing that we are going to recognize that week is that we are our own enemy. We are our own adversary here. With the Six of Pentacles, we are going to recognize that no one can do stuff for us, or the stuff we want for us. No one can, for example, find us a good job. No one can do our job for us. No one can help us in this particular situation that we are finding ourselves into. We are the only one who can do that for ourselves. So this is a week where we are going to opt for a self-growth, if I may put it that way, like kind of like working on ourselves, working on our methods, working on our code of conduct, if you will, so we can improve on the hierarchy. This is what is stopping us, literally, the hierarchy. And the way we do stuff, it's aligned to a certain stage of the hierarchy, and in order to grow any further, we simply have to kind of like take a different route, so to speak. Not different routes in what we are doing, but rather in how we are doing it. And this week is going to be rather a bit, I don't want to say the word stressful, but more like it's going to be a bit busy doing that, because along the way we are going to recognize that we are doing certain stuff which are impairing us. They are not allowing us to grow any further, whether into the business or whether into our love life. And these are things which we probably despise of doing, so to speak, but nonetheless they are going to be required if you want to grow. I do hope that you do enjoy your reading thus far, but remember that is a generalized reading, and for a personal one you can purchase from my website, which link you can find in the description down below as well. You are seeing it right now on your displays, and there on the very front page you can see full list of my services, also their pricing, so based on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever one is going to suit you best. Now let's get back to your forecast. And no one can does them for us. Okay, so the second card, which stands for what is going to work against us, it's the Moon card, pretty indicative. So that card stands for if it is meant to happen, then no matter what I do is going to happen. That is not the case in this particular situation, in this particular stage of our lives. Not the case by a long shot here. And any one of us who Scorpio who does think that way. You know, if it is meant to happen, if it is meant for me to, I don't know, be engineer, I'm going to be an engineer. Or if it is no matter what I do, or if it is meant for me to find love, I'm going to find love no matter what I do. Well, that may be the case for a long run, but not right now. And again, there are certain things which we aren't doing. Like if I have to give myself, for example, I feel very awkward gifting flowers, okay? And that is going to be the last thing that comes to my mind. In fact, it's something that repulses me, self-imposed limit, not gifting flowers. And it might be as well something that I am up to looking for another job, for a different kind of job, and I will not gonna work whatever, okay? There are certain criteria that I do have for the work. Those criteria are limits, self-imposed limits, which are refraining me or are impairing me of finding a nice and good job. And if we are kind of like laying down on the mantra that, well, if it is meant to happen, it's going to happen. No, not right now. So that is a week where we have to look inwardly and recognize these things we do, or rather like things we don't do, which are shooting us in the foot. And that is exactly what's going to happen throughout the week. We're going to recognize through the third card, which is what works in our favor here, Eight of Swords. We're going to recognize exactly what is stopping us. Okay, what are exactly the limits, the restrictions which we have imposed on ourselves that are stopping us to improve and grow in hierarchy, to have, for example, a better relationship, to have, for example, a better job, to have, for example, a better fellowship, to have, for example, a better life in general. And there is another quite nice thing about the Eight of Swords, although sometimes people, or most of the time, people don't recognize it. That is a good thing. That is lack of comprehension. So throughout this week, there are going to be people that just will not going to be able to comprehend us. Okay, and this is going to be the boundary that is going to basically wedge in between us, and it will refrain them, or rather like stop them being a major factor in our life. And them being a major factor in our life is another self-imposed limit, not going forward without them, that it is pretty much stopping us. So look around yourself. I'm going to do the same thing. Is there people who just don't want to comprehend either what you're going through or what your life is, and so on and so forth? And if there is, well, you have your answer, what kind of influence they do have on your life. Nonetheless, by the end of the week here, through the Hermit, we are now going to have those limits destroyed. And at the end of the week, there is going to be somewhat of an analysis, somewhat of a withdrawal, if you will, on the results of these lift up limits, so to speak. And this withdrawal also is going to be from the ideas of the world and as well the ideas of others. And we are going to come up with a pretty solid thing, pretty solid plan, pretty solid job, pretty solid relationship that will act as a very substantial piece in our life. For many of us is going to be the glue that it is holding everything up together. For others is going to be the light at the end of the tunnel that they needed. But it's going to be a thing where very few are going to support us through it and are going to give a dime in generally for it. And only those that do are going to be the people worthy to stay in our lives. The rest, they can do as they please, just not bothering us whatsoever. But long story short here, we are going to find our niche by the end of the week. Hopefully all of us are going to follow it. This concludes your reading, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you can do so. Leave a like as well, comment on the video if you feel the need to do so. And if you think that this video can help someone you know, then you can share it with them as well. Other than that, hopefully we're going to see each other next time, and until then, bye.